Lakeview Village is a hidden treasure.
Most of the residents are in independent living, and so they're really a physically active community.
And I don't have a big support system except for my financial advisor. And she said, Penny, I don't care where you go. I just want you to go to a life care program.
And the thing about Lakeview is if you qualify financially and especially medically, they will take care of you for the rest of your life. We did this for ourselves, but we did it for our children.
I've been at Lakeview Village 5 years. We came to Lakeview Village when we were 70. I like that it's a place where we can stay and be cared for.
Our board makes decisions based on the people at Lakeview. And unlike other communities that may have a board of directors in Chicago or New York or somewhere, our board knows our residents.
I thought it was a little early for us to come here. Back about 6 months, I realized, no, you need to come to Lakeview as quick as you can because there's so much stuff to do here. There's more things to do here than you got time to do it.
There are a lot of activity clubs and organizations, art, music, writing, poetry and prose, card playing clubs, exercise groups.
And they encourage people to have pets because it keeps you more active.
And people are extremely friendly.
The people are so awesome. The people that you meet and the different backgrounds that they have are really, really interesting.
Several years ago, a few of us who were interested gathered together to talk about creating Lakeview Village University, taught by our residents. And we have had for the last 3 or 4 years absolutely wonderful semesters that are as varied as very sophisticated medical ethics to financial aid things by people who know what they're talking about, to a woman who has featured just come bring your favorite music and we will each talk about what's our favorite music and many, many more, you know. But this is kind of special when it's really taught by people who've lived their lives in that field doing some things. And then right now I'm actually co-teaching something on race, and the people in it are wonderful, and it's good to talk openly about our feelings, so yeah.
So there's something for everybody. You can do as much as you want or, you know, nothing if you don't want to do something. I mean, there are people that go from one class to another class to another class because there's so much going on there.
There were all kinds of housing options from single-family homes to high-rise apartments, and when I toured this building, the North Point building, I was shown an apartment on the 5th floor facing the lake that's behind me, and that did it. That was the end of the decision in that respect.
The tower had my living, and it had my studio, it had the restaurant, you know, it had the workout space.
I don't want to take care of a house anymore. I don't want to mow the yard. I don't want to have it painted. I don't want to replace a water heater. I don't want to do any of that stuff.
Lakeview launders are linen. No bedsheet, bedspread, towels to wash. The guys are out plowing the road first thing in the morning.
But it's like a small town, really. We have a doctor, we have a bookstore, we have a bank, we have restaurants.
I like the whole campus. I like the walking areas that we have and the security that's here on Lakeview.
And then it is like a village. It truly is like a village.
I always, when I walk around, it's like it has that small town feel to it. You know, like my hometown where I was born. And I love that feeling.
And I would encourage anybody that's even contemplating it, come to Lakeview. We are not your mother's retirement home.
Hello to all of you, and thank you so much for being part of this special presentation by Lakeview Village. It's about downsizing. Downsize to simplify your life. And we've got a great presenter with us today who is going to help us get our act together, because I don't know about you, but every time I go to the garage or I go to the basement, I'm like, how in the world am I ever going to get rid of all this stuff? So we're going to talk about that today. We're going to help us bring it down a notch to know that this is manageable, it is achievable with the right plan and the right time. So I can't wait for you to meet her, because we're going to get this done together. But before we do, I want to remind you of how to ask a question today. So right below this box that I'm sitting in, there is a form. You're going to go there, type in your name, your question, hit submit. That'll come to us. We'll get your questions answered. And if we don't get them all answered today, because we tend to get a lot of them for this presentation in particular, Lakeview Village will reach out to you and they will get your questions answered as well. So before we get to our presenter, Karen, Lynn Tenbrink, how are you? Lynn is the marketing director at Lakeview Village. I think it's important for folks to know that you've been in this industry for 20 years. You've been doing, I mentioned you were only there a little short period of time, but you've been there in this industry for a long, long time. And so you know your stuff. And yes. I think it's important for folks right now for us to take a quick little moment to just learn a little bit more about Lakeview Village before we get into today's presentation.
So Lakeview Village is a 100-acre campus. We have villas, patio homes, duplexes, apartments. We are a nonprofit organization, which is really important to a lot of people. So the money that goes to Lakeview Village always goes back to the residents and their lifestyle. The most amazing part of Lakeview Village is the lifestyle. So it's, of course, maintenance-free living. We have tons of amenities, a state-of-the-art fitness center, a pool, social activities, a supermarket, library, a bank on site, an art studio. We have an amazing art studio. So the lifestyle is really, what makes Lakeview different. Maintenance-free living is, of course, the main reason why people move to Lakeview. It's Lakeview Village, so we have 2 lakes. We have miles of walking trails, so we're great for biking, walking your dog. We also have something special called Lakeview Village University, and our residents are our instructors and our students. So any type of talent or education that you have to share with other people, you could teach a course at Lakeview Village and other residents will participate. It's very popular. We have a spring and summer course, and it's very, very popular. We are guided by a local board of directors, and I think that's important that all decisions about Lakeview Village are made locally. All of our board of directors live in Kansas City, and I feel that they know our community and they know our residents. We're very financially sound. That's important when you're looking at a CCRC. You need an organization that's going to be there in 20 and 30 years. You're paying for some future care, so you want to make sure that they're there. So an organization that's very financially sound is important. So as you're looking, ask about the finances of organizations that you're looking into. Something that comes up a little bit with our tours, people looking, is even though we have other living options besides apartments, we have the villas, we have duplexes, we have patio homes, but we do have a lot of apartments. And some people coming from a home to an apartment, that's a big adjustment. And we do like to share that our buildings are steel and concrete construction, and that is much more quiet and sound than other types. I mean, this isn't the apartment that your kids are living at in college. They're very quiet. You don't hear people walking around. You don't hear people's televisions. So I want people to feel a little bit better about that if they're looking into apartment living. If you would ever need it in the future, we do have state-of-the-art inpatient and outpatient therapy and rehab. That's there on campus if you would ever need it, and long-term care. And so when you meet with us, we'll talk about how all of that comes together. Our residents don't need that when they move in, but if they need it in the future, we're there. We are also the only true life care in Johnson County. There are other organizations that have a version of life care, but we're the only true life care where your monthly fee follows you through other levels of care. And that takes a longer conversation, but something to think about and talk about as you're looking at communities.
So Lynn, I'm sure that as people go through the presentation today, other questions are going to come up, certainly. So we want you to hang around here till the end. But here is your contact information as well on the screen. So for those who might want to jot that down right now, it's L. Tenbrink. We need to find out about your last name one of these days. But anyway, and then there is the phone number as well for folks to have, because there is so much going on. And that life care piece, I think, can be a little bit tricky for people.
Yes.
We hear it from other communities. It is different. It is above, if you will, at Lakeview Village, and that is an important conversation and a longer one, as you said. So
agreed.
I'm glad that you brought that up, certainly, so folks can continue to learn more about that. And we've got some other sessions coming up, some other virtual events coming up where we're going to talk in depth about that as well, but they can call you.
And that's why we do these, is we're trying to inform and educate. We want educated consumers. So even if Lakeview isn't the right place for you, we just want you to make an educated decision about it. So find out about other communities, as we encourage you to find out about other communities, because you'll vividly see how